It's day one of the celebrity trial gripping much of the nation. Sean Diddy Combs, once one of entertainment's most powerful moguls, accused of crimes so heinous, he faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. He's denied all charges, and just a warning, this story contains accounts, descriptions, and visual content of actual or alleged events that some may find disturbing.
Mom, how are you feeling today, Mom? How is your son?
Can't talk about the case at all.
All eyes are on this New York City courthouse as the federal trial for disgraced mogul Sean Diddy Combs begins.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs goes on trial today.
Combs is inside the courtroom along with those prospective jurors.
He faces multiple charges, including racketeering and sex trafficking.
The 55-year-old musician, known for hits like Bad Boy for Life, Y'all Got Drama, The Saga Continues, and Can't Nobody Hold Me Down, is facing charges of sex trafficking, transportation for prostitution, and racketeering conspiracy. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Prosecutors claim he exploited his power to coerce women into drug-fueled orgies he referred to as freak-offs, and then intimidated them into staying silent.
Today was a monumental day when we're talking about Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. At one point, he also had the actual key to New York City. So to see him today facing trial on federal criminal charges is completely a downfall of who Puff Daddy, who Sean Combs was.
A key moment in the trial was the testimony of singer Cassandra Ventura, better known as Cassie, who was at the center of a now infamous video. The disturbing footage allegedly shows Combs chasing her down a hotel hallway in 2016, knocking her to the ground and kicking her. Prosecutors opened their case by presenting videos and photos from the violent encounter as the first pieces of evidence shown to the jury.
Freak-offs, according to prosecutors, were these sex marathons. Some of them lasted days, and they were fueled by ecstasy or other party drugs. And women were not allowed to leave.
A security guard who arrived on the scene after the alleged attack testified that Diddy had a devilish stare, while Cassie was visibly bruised with a black eye. Another witness claimed he was paid to engage in sexual acts with Cassie, while Diddy watched and was instructed to urinate on her.
Everyone was leaning in and focusing and watching this video. Literally, you can hear a pin drop in that courtroom.
Cassie and Diddy were in a nearly decade-long romantic relationship, during which they released hits like Me and You and I Can See You. However, Cassie's graphic and disturbing 2023 civil lawsuit against Diddy marked a turning point, prompting the federal criminal investigation into the music mogul. Diddy has denied the allegations and settled the suit without admitting wrongdoing. This morning, Diddy's mother and children arrived at the courthouse to support him, accompanied by his spokesperson. Inside the courtroom, Diddy was seen smiling and blowing kisses to his family.
Horrific time for the family, so they're just trying to hold steady in their faith and make sure that they take care of each other.
How is Mr. Combs feeling?
Upbeat. I think obviously this is a huge deal, and so he's just ready to have his side told in open court.
You heard about oral sex, you heard about missionary style, you heard about baby oil being put on people's body. You heard so much. This is not a case for the prude.
At least 3 alleged victims are expected to testify against Diddy, including Cassie and a woman identified only as Jane. During opening statements, prosecutors claimed that Diddy coerced the women into participating in what he called freak-offs, instructing them to dress in lingerie, wear tall platform heels, and maintain manicured white nails. Diddy's defense countered that the sexual encounters were consensual and part of what they described as the rapper's swinger lifestyle.
As to what's going on in the courtroom, and he's taken part in his defense.
Defense attorney Tenny Gergo addressed the jury in her opening statement saying, "That may not be what you like to do in your bedroom, but you're not here to judge him for his sexual preferences." She added, "Being a willing participant in your own sex life is not sex trafficking." The defense also acknowledged the disturbing video, framing it as an instance of domestic violence rather than sex trafficking. Domestic violence is not sex trafficking, Gergo argued. Had he been charged with domestic violence or assault, we would not be here right now.
The prosecution is alleging that it was his inner circle that enabled him to be able to engage in these acts, but also hide these acts from the public and for it to go on for so long.
The first testimony in the trial transported jurors to a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016, the site where the surveillance video was recorded. The first witness, an LAPD officer working security at the hotel, testified that he responded to a call about a woman in distress on the 6th floor.
The defense wants to say that these women are all adults. They're all consenting and willing participants in these freak-offs.
The security guard testified that he returned to Diddy's hotel room and stood in the doorway while Cassie collected her belongings. He noted that another man was sitting at the corner of the bed during the incident.
Said that Sean Combs may be a lot of things. He may have committed domestic violence, but those aren't the crimes the defense said that he's charged with. So in effect, the argument is he's a criminal, just not the kind of criminal they say he is.
Daniel Phillip testified that he was paid to have sex with Cassie on multiple occasions at upscale hotels in New York City while Diddy watched. He stated that he received payments ranging from $700 to $6,000 each time.
When he got to the floor, he noticed that there was glass on the floor, that the
Daniel Phillip also testified that during these encounters, Diddy would allegedly be in the corner, wearing a bandana over his face and masturbating. He claimed that Diddy often gave directions, and at times told him to step back because he was about to take his turn.
So from the very start, the first witness brings the jury into that hallway where he said Sean Combs looked at him with a devilish stare and Cassie Ventura had a purple eye.
Sean Combs tried to offer him money, to give him money to make this go away. And he said he wouldn't accept the money. Do a performance for a bachelorette party, at least that's what he thought. But when he got to the hotel, to the room, that Cassie opened up the door. He did not know that was Cassie, and that she told him, well, it's my birthday and my husband wants to do something special, so can you give me a massage with this body oil, and then we can just take it from there and see where it leads.
Phillip also testified that he witnessed Diddy drag and hit Cassie. When asked by prosecutors why he didn't intervene, he explained, "My thought was that this was someone with unlimited power and chances, and even if I did go to the police, I might still end up losing my life." Cassie, now 8 months pregnant, is expected to take the stand tomorrow as the star witness in the case. This is the first time Cassie Ventura has spoken publicly about the incidents, other than in her civil lawsuit. Her husband and the father of her children were spotted in court today. If convicted, Combs could face life in prison.
Waters stood up and walked out. When they came back in at one point, the testimony got more graphic about ejaculation, about urination. That was too much. They turned and walked out. Ventura, who has not spoken about this publicly except in a civil lawsuit, is taking the witness stand as a star witness.
Her husband and father of her children spotted at court today. If convicted, Combs could face life in prison.